Hello, beautiful people. Like, share, and subscribe. So I want to play a video of this pastor. By the way, his name is Apostle Emmanuel Aaron. So he was trying to insinuate that Nigerian problem is spiritual, that Nigeria might really have a spiritual issue. And I'll let you listen to him. Then at the end of the video, I will counter what he said.
Yeah, I know that some of you are going to take offense with what I'm about to say, but it has to be said. By the way, this is the second time I'm posting this because I feel I can be more articulate with my thoughts. When one famous man of God came out to say that Nigeria has a spiritual problem, I understand why some of you took offense with it, because it seems like the church is always spiritualizing the problems of this nation. And maybe what we need right now is to demand that the leaders of this nation take pragmatic steps towards the betterment of the nation as a whole. But when you look at it from another standpoint, it's hard to convince me that this country does not have a spiritual problem, because somehow we always miss the point. We always miss the point. And I'm only saying this because it has to be said. I miss when I wasn't that notable a man of God that I could just speak my mind, But it has to be said. Compare and contrast. There are mega churches in this country. Yes, you are fuming over the fact that they have massive auditoriums. As far as they are concerned, they're supposed to be building factories, building roads for the people. That's weird, but I'll come to that. So you have churches like, I don't want to mention names, but there's a church, for instance, that has 2 world-class universities. All right. And recently has announced that they'll be building an airstrip, and everybody is fuming about that. But in comparison, you have states that receive federal government allocation, that have citizens that pay compulsory taxes. And in those states, you don't have one working airport. You don't have any world-class university. And you think the church is your problem. If that's not a spiritual problem, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Because if at all, if anything, I think that the church should be an inspiration to the government. And that's just testament to what effective resource management and leadership can accomplish. No matter how rich you think one ministry is, do you want to compare it to a whole nation or a whole state? Plus federal government allocation and the taxes that the citizens are paying. Why can't many states produce one good university? Why can't many states produce one airport? And so, whilst you are distracted by the prosperity of the church, it should help you think, well, how much more the government? And why hold a ministry to whom you don't pay taxes? A ministry that most of you don't even attend, you've never given offering. You're trying to tell them about what their financial priorities should be without holding the government to whom you pay taxes accountable. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. And coupled with the fact that some of these mega churches are even doing things that you can argue are not their business. Some of them are building roads. One of the churches in question built roads and would have done more, allegedly, if they were allowed to. I think we get too distracted in this nation. See, all those other issues about tithing, those are theological issues that, honestly, some of us will never agree on, and that's okay. But at least from a big picture standpoint, from a national secular standpoint, no matter what you think a missionary university should charge for school fees, at the end of the day, it still benefits the nation that we have additional universities and world-class universities at that. Some states have not been able to do that. The church is not your problem. Think about it. Think about it. Don't get distracted. God bless you. Just my 2 cents.
Hello, guys. So you've heard from this pastor that's claimed that Nigeria might have spiritual problem, and his argument was based on the fact that let me use the university issues. He said the church has universities that are well run, but the states, that's Nigeria as a federation, doesn't have well-run universities. Let me tell him how Nigerian churches are a problem. Maybe he forgot to highlight this point. Nigerian churches don't speak truth to power. I've watched a documentary of a priest in one of these South American countries. He rebelled against the government and he was killed. He was leading protest, I think, and he was killed. The Nigerian churches looks like it's a partnership with. They do have a partnership with the Nigerian government. Like I mentioned, I said Nigeria is a crime scene. It's a kind of partnership with the government, the religious leaders, the traditional leaders, and these so-called elders. The other day, one Yoruba elder was saying Tinubu should do another 4 years without, saying that Tinubu is a Yoruba son and blah blah blah. So the Nigerian church keeps their members docile. How do they keep them docile? They use spiritual ways to make their members not to know their rights, not to protest. I remember, is it not Pastor Adeboye, during the time Nigerian people were trying to protest? He was doing his church procession, convention, or whatever, on the day protest was going on. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's a, how will I put it now? The Nigerian church is part of the problem. I will not say they are the problem. The government is the problem, but they're part of the problem. And if you say Nigerian problem is spiritual, so if you have the spiritual problem, are you not gonna? Is it only prayer that will solve it? Prayer without works it amounts to nothing. If you like, pray from now till 2,000 years, and you don't put effort. I'm not even saying you should put effort like a bricklayer, but you don't even put small effort. You're wasting your time. You must put that tangible effort. And what is that tangible effort in the part of the government? You must, how will I put it now? The government must act responsibly. That is part of the effort. Not see plenty money and say, no, I will not steal it. That is part of the effort. So the Nigerian churches is like a collaboration. They are also part of the, killing of the Nigerian society. You go to church, they will tell you, "Oh, don't say bad things about your leaders. Don't hold them." It's like they are saying you should not hold them accountable. Okay, the Nigerian churches, you say they are well run. They are well run and the pastor is living large and the members are poor. You build the church builds this church builds a university, and even half of the members, let's even say 1/4 of your members cannot even attend it. Is it fair? When the Kali missionaries and the Protestants were coming to Africa, were they not building free schools? Were they not building free hospitals? How many have been done by the so-called mega churches in Nigeria? So you see why people always say that the Nigerian churches are part of the problem. And if you say Nigerian problem is spiritual, I even if it's spiritual, let's assume it's spiritual. Are you not going to? Are there not supposed to be physical things you would do that, like the part of putting effort by the government that would change things? If you say spiritual, so are you saying people should pray forever? People have been praying since 1960. Even the Catholic Church has a prayer for Nigeria, and nothing has changed. The reason why Nigeria has not improved is because there have been no work. And I still mention, I always used to say it on this channel that no Nigerian president has worked 30%. People used to say, anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section if you agree or disagree.